Hello beautiful and wonderful people, welcome back to Jinamon channel. If you are new here, it's so great to have you. Please don't forget to follow my page and subscribe to my channel as well. In today's recipe, I'll share with you how to make achecke from scratch. This is very simple and you need only one basic ingredient for this recipe, which is cassava. Let's get started. As you can tell from the video, I peeled the cassava. First, I cut it into two. This cassava was nice and it was still so delicious, eh? So I cut it into two and then took out the core. I added it to my saucepan. Of course, or obviously, I divided it into smaller pieces. So I brought it to a boil. Once a fork can easily penetrate like this, that means it was ready. Don't overcook it. Line your work surface with aluminium, followed by cling film, and then transfer the cassava on it. Make sure it slightly cools down before wrapping it. I'll then let it ferment for 3 days. After 3 days, I brought it and then transfer it to my bowl. I then added in water and wash it. So please make sure you wash it before using it. I kept it aside and then moved to the rest of the cassava. I went ahead and peeled the cassava, took out the core and divided it into smaller pieces. So what you can do is by grating it or by using a food processor. You can grate it like this way or use the food processor. But I found it like using the food processor is the easiest way. It makes it more easier for you. So if you don't have one, please find yourself one. So add it to it and blend until it's almost smooth, and then add in the cooked one as well. Blend until it's smooth or almost smooth. After, I went ahead and transfer it in my bowl and then go ahead with the rest of the cassava. So like I said, you need a lot of cassava for this recipe depending on the quantity of achecke that you want. I kept that aside as well and moved to the palm oil. I added about 2 tablespoons of palm oil to my saucepan and then let it cook until it was translucent. I then added it to the cassava dough and stir it till everything has come together. I'll ferment this again for about 3 days before cooking it. So cover it with a cling film and let it sit for at least 3 days. After 3 days and we are done for the fermenting, line your bowl with cheesecloth and then add some of the cassava dough in it and then squeeze out the water. Make sure you squeeze about 99.9. Just try your best as much as possible to squeeze out any liquid left in the cassava dough. That's what you're looking for. So I kept it aside and then brought a different bowl. I'll use a sieve to shred it, like to grate it, just as demonstrated in the video. And then I'll bring the bowl and shake it by rolling it in the bowl. You can even shake it whilst you are tapping it in the other of your palm, and then like it will eventually roll like so. It will come together. You could see the big ones. Just bring it and then break it into smaller pieces. Go ahead and keep rolling until you are done rolling. So it should be something like this when you are done. Make sure you spread it well. I transferred mine in the baking tray, so make sure that baking tray is very clean and then transfer the cassava on it. After, dry it on the sun for 2 days. So like mine took that day, luckily for me, was shining, so like it took like 1 day to get ready. After it is done, you have to double boil it, add it to your saucepan and then cover it with something, let it cook. You can even leave it until it's ready, but I was in haste, so I decided to stir it, but please make sure you give it some time and then let it cook until it's ready. I waited for 15 minutes and then I checked again, and as you can tell, it was getting ready bit by bit. So even here, you can even sprinkle a little bit of oil on top it, stop it from sticking together. I closed it again. I said this time around, no, I'll leave it for it to get ready before opening it, and then it was ready. So guys, just look at this. This was amazing. It turned out delicious as how I wanted. Please try this recipe and let me know how it turned out in the comment section, and If anything, I'll reply you. Just look at it, guys. This turn out yummacious, and this is compared with fried chicken, tilapia. I enjoyed this with tilapia. So with tilapia, fried chicken, any fish, any meat at all. See you. Bye bye.